Yes, I'm live now. Welcome once again to another new video. This is SAHOO and you are watching SAHOO's tutorial. And in this YouTube video, I will be covering some important MCQ question on English literature for the upcoming MPSET exam. This is day 2. In the previous videos, I have discussed already important 35 or 36 important MCQ questions along with explanation. Please visit the playlist, that is MPSET English Literature Mock Test, and in that playlist you will get the videos that I have recently uploaded. Probably I had uploaded yesterday. So this is the day 2. Do join and let me know if everything is okay, if the PPT is visible, and if the audio quality is okay, and if everything is okay. Please do send the confirmations. Okay, if everything is okay, I will be covering some important MCQ questions for the upcoming MPSET exam that is going to be conducted in this year. So this is day 2. I will be covering some important MCQ questions. This is day 2, the kind of mock test for the upcoming MPSET exam. So do join and let me know if everything is okay, where I am making the mock test for the upcoming MPSET exam. Yeah, this is the day 2. In the previous video, I have discussed some important MCQ questions along with explanations in this channel, and this is my humble request to all of you. Please do subscribe the channel. Please make sure to subscribe the channel and tap the bell icon to get more notification that I will upload in this channel. So without wasting your time, here is your first question on your screen. Those who have not joined yet, you can watch these sessions, watch this video later. It will be in that playlist. I will be adding this video in the playlist, that is MPSET English Literature Mock Test, and in that playlist you will get this video. Without wasting your time, let's begin the sessions here. And here is your first question on your screen. Please do answer in the comment box. Please send the confirmations if everything is okay. Those who are watching live, please send me the confirmations if everything is okay. So yeah, the first question is on your screen. You can answer in the comment box, those who are interested. So the first question is here on your screen. Henry James, the American novelist, an American British novelist, is regarded as a key figure between literary transcendentalism and literary modernism, literary realism and literary tradition, and humanism and modernism, and literary realism and literary modernism. So Henry James, was famous American British novelist, was famously known for his writings like the Ambassadors, the Portrait of a Lady, and you have a novel, Turn of the Screw, which is a Gothic story, which is a ghost. Turn of the Screw. It's an important works by Henry James. The Ambassadors, the Portrait of a Lady, Turn of the Screw, an important works of Henry James. What would be the right answer here? Okay, expecting. We can definitely. I had actually forgot. But definitely I will be making video. Don't worry. Within 2 days I will be making on Presidency University in Calcutta University. So yeah, the right answer is actually in 2 days I will be making. Literary realism. Give me 2 more days. I will be making video on Presidency University in Calcutta University. So yeah, the right answer is actually literary realism and literary modernism. Now how was the exam of CUT? So here, literary realism and literary modernism is the right answer. Henry James, an American British novelist, is regarded as a key figure between literary realism and literary modernism. You see here, Henry James, order of merit, was an American British author. He is regarded as a key transitional figure between literary realism and literary modernism, and is considered by many to be among the greatest novelists in the English language. He was the son of Henry James Jr. and the brother of philosopher and psychologist William James and diarist Alice James. Thank you very much. So this is Henry James. Next question. In the Rime of the Ancient Mariner, Coleridge writes. Got it, Arina. Yeah, there were 3 passages. In CUT, isn't it? So water everywhere, and all the boats did shrink. Water everywhere, nor any drop to drink. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, your exam was 7 on 7. Yeah. Got it. Which figure of speech does he employ? Okay, got it. Hyperbole, irony, oxymoron, extended metaphor. Water everywhere, and all the boats did sing. Water everywhere, nor any drop to drink. Which figure of speech, okay, does he employ in this poem? That is rhyme of the ancient mariner. Here, the right answer is actually this is irony. Rather, it is called situational irony. It's situational irony. Okay, situational irony. Okay, it's situational irony. Okay. This is situational irony. Moving on to question number 3 here. The first time in history of Booker Prize for fiction, a graphic novel was nominated even though it failed to win the prestigious prize. Okay. The name of the graphic novel, which figured in the long list of Booker Prize nominees in 2018, is Sabrina, the Mushroom, the Water Cure, the Long Take. You see, for the first time in the history of the Booker Prize for fiction, a graphic novel was nominated for fiction for the Booker Prize, though eventually it failed to win the prestigious prize. Okay. Now you have to say the name of the graphic novel which figured a long list of Booker Prize nominees in 2018. And here the options are Sabrina, the Mushroom, the Water Cure, the Long Take. Here it is Sabrina. It is Sabrina is the right. Sabrina is the right answer. The graphic novel which was just figured, okay, the long list for the Booker Prize nominees in 2018. Situational irony matlab when they were actually okay in the going when they were in the sea actually, what happened, there are water everywhere, but these water were not drinkable. Okay, they were not able to okay drink that water. Okay, nor any drop to drink. Okay, so you see water was everywhere, but not a single drop of water they were able to okay drink. That's why it's a situational irony. Okay. Hmm. Water everywhere, and all the boats did sing. Water everywhere, nor any drop to drink. Okay, so water was everywhere. Okay, okay, because it was a sea, but they were unable to drink water. They were thirsty. So Sabrina is actually a graphic novel by Nick Danso. So Nick Danso has written Sabrina. Okay, it's a graphic novel. So that it was first published by Darwin and Quarterly in May 2018. In the story, the murder of the woman named Sabrina spawns various conspiracy theories. Okay, and the book examines the impact these false narratives have on the lives of the victims' friends and family. So Sabrina received critical acclaim in the first graphic novel to be longlisted for the Booker Prize. So this is actually Sabrina by Nick Transo. Okay. What kind of sound is M? M or N? Okay, M or N? Fricative, nasal, affricate, semi-vowel. The sound M, which kind of is a fricative, it's affricate or semi-vowel. So M is actually a nasal. Okay, nasal. M and in is a nasal kind of words. Nasal. And here is the explanation. You see the sound M is a nasal and available consonant sound. Okay. This means that air travels through the nose. Okay, and the lips are closed when you pronounce the word M. The sound is made by lightly pressing the lips together and making the sound with the vocal cords. The air moves over the soft palate through the nasal passage and creating a vibration. That's why the words like M, the letter like M and N are nasal words. Okay? The nasal sound. Nasal sound. Okay? To which country Hamlet is being sent by Claudius in Shakespeare's play Hamlet? England, Denmark, Venice, Rome. To which country Hamlet is being sent by Claudius in Shakespeare's play Hamlet? So your options are England, Denmark, Venice, Rome. So you see that Claudius had sent Hamlet to England, okay, okay, with Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, okay, to execute him. So it was England is the right answer. Claudius had sent Hamlet to England. England is the right answer. And here you see the explanation. Claudius sends Hamlet to England escorted by Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, okay, which is actually a work by Tom Stoppard also. Tom Stoppard has also written Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, okay, with secret orders that Hamlet be executed by the King of England. When Hamlet discovers the orders, he alters them to make his two friends the victims instead. That is, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are the friends of Hamlet. When Hamlet discovers the orders of killing him, he alters them to make his two friends the victims instead. So it was the explanations of the previous question. Okay. In which play does Vittoria Corombona became the mistress of the Duke of Brachiang, who for her sake murders both her husband and his own duchess. So you see the Vittoria, the white devil. Okay, the old fortunes. Okay, the white devil, the maid's tragedy, the philosopher. So the Vittoria is the title of white devil. Who is known as the white devil? It is Vittoria, who is actually who wanted to become the mistress of the Duke of Brachiang, and for that reason, okay, she actually murders both her husband and his own, and his own duchess, okay, and her own duchess. So this is actually the white devil. White devil is the Vittoria. In which of the following do the given lines occur? Thou was not born for death. Thou was not born for death. Immortal bird. Okay? No hungry generation treat thee down. Thou was not born for death. Immortal bird. No hungry generation treat thee down. These lines appear in which way? To a skylark, ode to a nightingale, ode on intimations of immortality, the rhyme of the ancient mariner. So you see here, these lines appear in ode to a nightingale. Ode to a nightingale, that is, thou was not born for death, immortal bird, nor hungry generation treat thee down. This is these are lines from ode to a nightingale. So here B is the right answer here. In Divine Comedy, by Dante's Divine Comedy, Virgil proceeds to guide Dante. So here is Virgil who is guiding in Divine Comedy, okay, whom? Dante. So Virgil proceeds to guide Dante through the concentric circles of hell, okay, through the dash concentric circle of hell, okay, 7, 8, 9, 10. In Divine Comedy, that was written by Dante, where we find the character Virgil also appear, and he proceeds to guide Dante through the 7, 8, 9 and 10. So it is through the 9 concentric circles of hell. 9 concentric circles of hell. So it is 9. So it is 9 is the right answer. 9 is the right answer. Miracle plays, okay. Miracle plays, I said that my B, that is mystery play, deals with biblical stories, okay. Biblical stories, okay. And my S, that is MI, that is deals with saints, okay. You see now, miracle plays, okay, are based on the lives of knights, crusaders, pilgrims, saints. So it is saints, okay. Mystery play deals with biblical themes. Miracle plays deals with saints, so the lives of saints. So it is the saints. D is the right answer. 9 ka D right answer. Okay. Next question. Nature that framed us of 4 elements, warring within our breasts for regiment, doth teach us all to have aspiring minds. Okay. Above lines are taken from Edward II, Tamburlaine the Great, the tragical history of Dr. Faustus, famous tragedy of the rich Jew of Malta. Nature that framed us of 4 elements, warring within our breast for regiment, doth teach us all to have aspiring minds. Actually here is referring, Marlowe is actually referring Nicholas Machiavelli in these lines, okay, and these lines appear in Tamburlaine the Great, okay. These lines, nature that framed us of 4 elements, warring within our breast for regiment, but teach us all to have aspiring mind. These lines actually appear in Tamburlaine the Great by Christopher Marlowe. Christopher Marlowe has written Tamburlaine the Great. Okay. Next question. Okay. Yeah. Next question. Which book of Nelson Mandela was published posthumously after his death? Okay. So which book of Nelson Mandela was published posthumously? Long Walk to Freedom, The Struggle is My Life, Favorite African Folktales, Dare Not Linger. The work that was published posthumously after Nelson Mandela's death is Dare Not Linger. Dare Not Linger. It was published after his death. So dare not linger is the right answer. Dare not linger is the right answer. And here is the explanation. You see that dare not linger, the presidential years, is a book by Nelson Mandela and Mandela Lang describing Mandela's term as a president of South Africa. By the way, dare not linger, it was published in 2017, 4 years after Mandela's death. So this work is actually published posthumously after Mandela's death. And you see that the book's title comes from the closing sentence of Mandela's previous autobiography, Long Walk to Freedom. So another famous work is Long Walk to Freedom. Long Walk to Freedom is another famous work written by Nelson Mandela, and the title of the work, Dare Not Linger, the Presidential Years. This is the posthumous collection. Title has been taken from the earlier book, Long Walk to Freedom. And the lines are, but I can't only rest, okay, for a moment, for with freedom comes responsibilities, and I dare not linger, for my long walk is not ended. So these are the closing sentence of Long Walk to Freedom. The closing sentence of Long Walk to Freedom become the title of the posthumous collection, Dare Not Linger by Nelson Mandela. The classification, a very Indian poems in Indian English. The classification, okay. The classification, very Indian poems in Indian English, was made by whom? Kamala Das, A.K. Ramanujan, Nizam Ezekiel, Sarojini Naidu. Very Indian poems in English, very Indian poems in Indian English was made by Kisne classification. Who had classified, okay, as very Indian poems in Indian English? Kamala Das, A.K. Ramanujan, Nizam Ezekiel, Sarojini Naidu. So very Indian poems in Indian English was made by Nizam Ezekiel. Nizam Ezekiel had actually classified very Indian poems in Indian English. So here C is the right answer over here. Okay. Who is the heroine of Girish Karnad's play Hayabadana? And Hayabadana, Girish Karnad actually heavily influenced by Thomas Mann's The Transposed Head. Thomas Mann's, okay, Transposed Head had helped, okay, had inspired Girish Karnad to write the play Hayabadana, and Hayabadana was translated into English by himself. The author Girish Karnad himself has translated Hayabadana into English. Now, who is the heroine of Girish Karnad's play Hayabadana? Nolini, Radha, Padmini, and Salini. So here the heroine of Girish Karnad's play Hayabadana is Padmini. Padmini is the heroine of Girish Karnad's play Hayabadana. So yes, C is the right answer. Next question, okay. Who is the author of the book, okay, Social Contract, originally published as On the Social Contract or Principles of Political Right? Okay. Jean-Jacques Rousseau, Augustin Burke, Emile Zola, Honore de Balzac. Who had written the book, The Social Contract? The Social Contract was written by whom? The Social Contract was written by whom? What would be the right answer here? So you see, the Social Contract originally published as actually On the Social Contract or Principles of Political Right, and this was actually written by Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Jean-Jacques Rousseau has written The Social Contract. So here A is the right answer, and here you see explanation that the book actually theorizing about the best way to establish a political community in the face of the problems of the commercial society, which Rousseau had already identified in his discourse on inequality. This discourse, this is the previous work of 1755, Discourse on Inequality, and the epigram of Social Contract has been taken from Virgil's Aeneid, and you see the epigram, Fortris Acquis, Dicamus Leges, that is, let us set equal terms for the truth. The epigram of the Social Contract has been taken from Virgil's Aeneid, and here he says, who says that a state has no right to enslave conquered people? It is Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Jean-Jacques Rousseau has said that a state has no right to enslave a conquered people. Okay, and here you see in this desired social contract, everyone will be free because they all forfeit the same number of rights and impose the same duties on all. Where Jean Jacques Rousseau argues that it is absurd for a man to surrender his freedom for slavery. Thus, the participant must have a right to choose the laws under which they live. And when Rousseau uses the word democracy, he is referring to direct democracy rather than the representative democracy. So he is referring direct democracy. Okay, democracy here, that is direct democracy rather than the representative democracy. Okay, and another thing is that a state has no right to enslave the conquered people. Now moving into question number 15 is on your screen here. Question number 15 is on your screen. Okay, the play consists mostly of static dialogue. क्या है? The play consists of mostly static dialogue. As throughout the play, the Titan Prometheus is bound to a rock. Prometheus is bound to a rock as a punishment from the Olympian Zeus for providing fire to humans. Okay, so Titan Prometheus has actually has given the fire to humans. Okay, protected the fire and has given the fire to humans, and that's why okay he was being punished. Okay, the play closes with Zeus sending Prometheus into the abyss because Prometheus refuses to divulge the secret of potential marriage that could prove Zeus' downfall. Who wrote this play? So who wrote this play? That is Prometheus Bound. And these lines, this is a story of this work, that is Prometheus. Okay, Prometheus Bound. Prometheus Bound is the work in this work we find this story. So was it written by Aristophanes, Euripides, Aeschylus, Sophocles? So it was written by Aeschylus. Aeschylus has written Prometheus Bound. Okay, Prometheus Bound written by Aeschylus. So C is the right answer. Prometheus Bound, okay, is an ancient Greek tragedy traditionally attributed to Aeschylus and thought to have been composed sometime between 417 and BC and the terminus antiquum of 424 BC. Tragedy is based on the myth of Prometheus, a titan who defies Zeus and protects and gives fire to mankind, for which he is subjected to the wrath of Zeus and he was punished, okay, by the Zeus. Okay. No deadly destiny with the son of Leto has killed me, and of men it was the Euphorbus. You are only my third slayer. Okay. Identify the speaker. Ajax, Hector, Patroclus, Achilles. Who is saying this? Okay. And this was actually spoken by the friend of this is actually Patroclus is saying here. Patroclus is saying, and he's mentioning to Hector. Patroclus is the right answer. No deadly destiny with the son of Leto has killed me, and of men it was Euphorbus. You are only my third slayer. Okay, so it is he's referring to Hector, and it was these lines are spoken by Patroclus. Patroclus died at the combined hands of Apollo, Euphorbus, and Hector. So that's why Hector is the third slayer. Okay, so he was killed. Okay, Patroclus actually killed by three people. One is Apollo, then Euphorbus, and Hector. And Patroclus has been Achilles' best friend. Patroclus is actually Achilles' best friend since childhood. Even though Patroclus is older than Achilles, he is much weaker. You see, with his dying breath, Patroclus preserves his sense of pride, okay, and telling Hector को क्या बोल रहा है, that he can't claim all the credit for killing him, because he is referring that he is the third slayer and the first two slayers are Apollo and Euphorbus. Okay. Then mysteriously Patroclus also prophesizing that Hector's death is at the hand of Achilles. That he is also prophesizing that Hector will be killed by Achilles. Okay. I would rather stand 3 times with a shield in battle than give birth once. Okay. Which famous character? Okay. Which famous character? Okay. Says these lines. I would rather stand 3 times with a shield. Okay. In a battle than give birth once. Which Greek character uttered this famous line? Medea, Antigone, Electra, Lysistrata. So it was actually Medea, and it was by Euripides. Euripides has written Medea, and Medea, the titular character of Medea, is saying that I would rather stand 3 times the shield in a battle than give birth once. And here are the lines. You see lines from this part. Men say that we live a life free. We, that's the women. Women live a life free from danger at home, while they, that is the men, fight with the spear. How wrong they are. I would rather, so it is I means our media. Media is saying that I would rather stand 3 times with the shield in battle than give birth once. So it is actually media by Euripides. By Euripides. Euripides has written, okay, media. And this is the famous character media. Media is saying these lines. 18 is Judge. Judge is a 1922 historical novel by Pulitzer and Nobel Prize winning American author. Who is the novelist? Okay. So Nobel Prize, and she got the Nobel Prize in 1993. 1993 में Nobel Prize मिला था. Toni Morrison, Joran Neale Hurston, Emily Baraka, Alice Walker. And Judge is actually part of a Dantesque trilogy. Dantesque trilogy. Okay. In that part, okay, in the trilogy, Judge is a novel appeared. Okay. So it is actually Toni Morrison. Toni Morrison got the Nobel Prize in 1993. In 1990, Toni Morrison got the Nobel Prize, and Judge is the Nobel by Toni Morrison, and it's a part of Dantesque trilogy. It is Beloved, Judge, and Paradise. Dantesque trilogy consists of 3 novels. First, Beloved, Judge, and Paradise. These are the 3 novels of Dantesque trilogy. And in 1993, Toni Morrison got the Nobel Prize. Toni Morrison got the Nobel Prize in 1993. Okay. Now tell me. Question 19 is on your screen. A pidgin is a linguistic communication that comprised of components of 2 or more other than language and is used for communication among people. So this is a simplified use of language. This is a simplified use of language. Okay, simplified. Okay, or it's a business language. A pidgin is actually a linguistic communication that comprised of components of 2 or more other than language and is used for communication among people. It's a communicative language. Okay, it is used for communications. Okay, a simplified use of language. It can also be called business language. It is not a fast language. That is also true. It is not a fast language. Whereas Creole, that is a language that was at first a pidgin. So from pidgin से Creole create होता है. पहले pidgin होता है and pidgin से Creole create होता है. ठीक है, Creole आता है. तो whereas Creole is a language. It was first a pidgin but has transformed and become a fast language. Now, pidgin has turned into a Creole, and a Creole becomes a fast language. So the next generations, okay. So it is actually all the above are correct. Okay. A pidgin is a simplified use of language, a linguistic communication that comprises of components of 2 or more other than language, and it is used for communication among people. It is simplified use of language. It is also called a business language. It is not the first language, whereas Creole is a language that was first pidgin. So pidgin Creole develops, okay, from pidgin. Okay, and it becomes a fast language. Which becomes a fast language? It is Creole becomes a fast language. So here all these options are actually right. Okay. Sure. Got it, Arina? Have you understood, Arina? And you see here, who did originate and develop transformational generative grammar? That is TG. That is transformational generative grammar. Noam Chomsky, Norman Finkelstein, Aviva Chomsky, Ferdinand SAHOO. So it is transformational generative grammar was originated and developed by Noam Chomsky. Noam Chomsky actually that is generative deep structure and surface structure. He has given the concepts of, okay, deep structure and surface structure. Deep and surface structure. Okay. Now 21. Constant grammar is the methodological practice of NLP. That is natural language processing. Who launched it? Okay. Fred Carlson, Norman Finkelstein, Aviva Chomsky, Ferdinand SAHOO. Constant grammar was by Fred Carlson. Fred Carlson has given, okay, it is launched by Fred Carlson. Okay, Fred Carlson has launched, okay, constant grammar, whereas the transformational generative grammar was launched by Noam Chomsky, and here you see he has given the concepts like deep structure and surface structure. Okay. Now, when was practical criticism by I.A. Richards published? 1924, 1929, 1949, 1939. So practical criticism actually was published in the year 1924 by I. Richards. Okay, I. Richards has published practical criticism in the year 1924. Moving on to question 23 here. A for levies. Levies means A for levies. Okay, it is A for levies. Okay, disparaged. Okay, disparaged Dickens. Okay, why he is disparaging Dickens, and he is giving the reason that he is lacking the mature standards and interests. Okay, that can be found in the works of Henry James. Okay, so he is saying that the mature standards and interest can be found in the works of Henry James, whereas it can't be found, okay, in the works of Dickens. That's why he is actually disparaging, okay, showing disrespect towards Dickens' work that can be found in the works of Henry James. But one work of Dickens was not denigrated, was not disrespected. Okay, name the work. So which work was not, okay, criticized, okay, by F.R. Levitt of Dickens? Hard Times, Great Expectations, David Copperfield, A Tale of Two Cities. So it was Hard Times. Okay, Dickens had not, okay, Dickens had not. Sorry, it was F.R. Levitt. Okay, and F.R. Levitt had actually praised Hard Times, whereas all the novels of Dickens were actually criticized by F.R. Levitt. Okay, so it is Hard Times is the right answer. And here you see, and this is the work that is a great tradition where, okay, he has given these concepts. Okay, he has talked about Dickens' works. So the great tradition that happened in 1948 work. It's a 1948 work. Okay, so it's a book of literary criticism written by F.R. Levitt, published in 1948. And in his work, Levitt was naming, okay, Jane Austen, George Eliot, Henry James, Joseph Conrad as the great English novelists. So these are four great Indian novelists. Sorry, these are four, okay, English novelists. Okay, these are four great English novelists. One is Jane Austen, another is George Eliot, Henry James, and the last one is Joseph Conrad. And the great tradition was written by F.R. Levitt. It was published in 1948, whereas the four great English novelists are Jane Austen, George Eliot, Henry James, Joseph Conrad. And in all these eight, okay, including Charles Dickens, Nathan Hawthorne, Herman Melville, Edgar Allan Poe, we have successor of Shakespeare. So within his argument, he adds also D.H. Lawrence, okay, to the pantheon of great novelists in English. Okay, here Levitt, you see, disparaged Dickens except for his novel Hard Times as lacking the mature standards of interest found in the works of Henry James. Okay, now moving on to question number 24. New Criticism by John Clorantham, published in 1941, 1942, 1944, and 1939. So it was in 1941 by John Clorantham. The New Critic has written the New Criticism. The book was published in 1941, and the movement got its name, okay, from this publications of the book, from the publication of this book, New Criticism, that was published in the 1941. The movement got its name by the publications from this publication of this work, 1941 work, and New Criticism. Okay, now which of the following is not a critical study by William Gibson? You see, 7 types of ambiguity 1930 में आया था. The Dire Saint, Milton's God, some versions of pastorals. So you see, 7 types of ambiguity of work by William Gibson. The New Critic, the Dire Saint was not written by actually William Gibson. Is not a critical study. Some versions of pastoral was written by William Gibson. The Milton's God is also written by William Gibson, whereas the Dire Saint was not written by, and it was the Dire Saint actually written by W.H. Auden. It was written by W.H. Auden. W.H. Auden, okay, this is an essay. This is an essay, okay, a collection of essays, okay. This is a collection of essays, okay. So Dire Saint is actually a collection of essays by W.H. Auden. You see here the explanation. Dire Saint and other essays is a collection of essays by and lectures by W.H. Auden. So here Dire Saint and other essays. So here you see the the option is the right option here. Which of the following was not? Is not a novel. Is not a novel written by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. American Purple Hibiscus, Half by Allison, The Shadow of the Wind. Half by Allison written by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Purple Hibiscus was also written by her. Americana was also written by her. Whereas The Shadow of the Wind was not written by. Shadow of the Wind was not written by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. So here D is the right answer, which is not a novel. So Shadow of the Wind, and here is the explanation. Shadow of the Wind is written by Carlos Zafón. Shadow of the Wind is a 2001 novel by the Spanish writer Carlos Zafón and a worldwide bestseller. The book was translated into English in 2004 by Lucia Graves. Okay, so you see, The Shadow of the Wind, it is translated into English by Lucia Graves. Okay, in 2004. Okay, This is a worldwide bestseller by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. The novel is actually a story within a story. The novel opens in the 1940s with the protagonist called Daniel, a boy whose father owns a bookshop in Barcelona. A boy whose father owns a bookshop in Barcelona. So this is actually The Shadow of the Wind, that was written by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. Next question. What is the name of the protagonist in Purple Hibiscus? Purple Hibiscus is a novel by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, and here Kambili Achiki Ifemelu Olana Anti Ifema. So here the protagonist of Purple Hibiscus is actually Kambili Achiki. Kambili Achiki is the protagonist of the Purple Hibiscus written by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. What is Saul Bellow's first novel written in the diary form? Okay. Handling Man, Harjov, The Dean's December, Adventures of Augie March. Okay. What is the first novel, okay, of Saul Bellows? Okay. Those who are watching, please do answer in the comment box. Okay. What would be the right answer here? What would be the right answer? What is Saul Bellows' first novel? What is Saul Bellows? Okay. First novel. Okay. Written in the diary from Dandling Men's. Okay. Dandling Men's. Then Harjov. Okay. Then you have Dean's December, and you have the Adventures of Augie March. What would be the right answer? Okay. What the do answer in the comment box. Saul Bellow's first novel written in diary format. Options are Dandling Man, Harjov, The Dean's December. Then you have the Adventures of. So it is actually the Dazzling Man. Okay, it's 1944 work. 1944 work. Okay, the Dazzling Man is actually 1944 work by Saul Bellows. Okay, so this is the diary format. Okay, Dazzling. So next question. Alexander Pope's mock heroic poem, The Rape of the Lock. Belinda is invited to play which of the following cards games upon arriving the Hampton Court. Okay, upon arriving the Hampton Court. What would be the answer here? Okay. What would be the right answer here? It is Umber. Umber is the answer. Okay. In Alexander Pope's mock heroic poem, The Rape of the Lock, Belinda is invited to play Umber. So here A is the right answer. The following poets was appointed poet laureate in the year 1813. Tennyson's Byron, Sadi, Wordsworth. It is Sadi. Robert Sadi was actually appointed poet laureate in the year 1830. Next question. Which one of the following poets named romantic poet as the pawn poet? किसने romantic poet को pawn poets बोला था? Robert Sadi, Shelley, Keats, Byron. So it was Robert Sadi who had named romantic poets as the pawn poets. Next question 32 is on your screen. Venus Observed, a play in blank verse by the English dramatist and poet. Name the author. Christopher Fry, Norman Mailer, Graham Greene, James Baldwin. Venus Observed किसने लिखा है? Venus Observed. Venus Observed written by Christopher Fry. Christopher Fry has written Venus Observed. Christopher Fry has written Venus Observed, and it's a play in blank verse by the English dramatist and the poet Christopher Fry. The play concerns a Duke who decides to remarry for third time. He gets his son Edgar to pick the bride, and the Duke like Perpetua, but Edgar wants her for himself. Venus Observed, a blank verse by the English dramatist poet Christopher Fry. Which of the following is not a novel written by Truman Capote? It's not a novel by Truman Capote. Breakfast at Tiffany's, In Cold Blood, The Catcher in the Rye, Other Voices and Other Room. Other Voices and the Other Room. Which is not a novel written by Truman Capote. Do answer in the comment box. Which is not a novel by Truman Capote. The Catcher in the Rye, Other Voices, Other Voices and Other Rooms. Yeah, it is The Catcher in the Rye, that was written by J.D. Salinger. J.D. Salinger has written Catcher in the Rye. So it's not a novel by Truman Capote, it is J.D. Salinger. C is the right answer. C is the right answer. Okay. Moving on to question 34 here. Who is the central figure in Hawthorne's Scarlet Letter? Olivia, Daisy Miller, Maggie Tulliver, Hester Prynne. So it is the Hester Prynne. Hester Prynne is the central figure in Hawthorne's, okay, The Scarlet Letter. And to wind up the session, here is the last question. Today's last question here. I will be ending the session here with these questions here. Here the last question is Gabriel Oak is a central male character in Hardy's novel. Taste, Jude the Obscure, Far from the Madding Crowd, The Return of the Native. Far from the madding crowd, Return of the Native. Gabriel Oak is actually the shepherd, okay, and he falls in love with Bathsheba. So these are Bathsheba and Gabriel Oak, are important characters from which novel of Hardy? It is actually Far from the Madding Crowd. Far from the Madding Crowd. And here you see Gabriel Oak, the fictional character, a skillful, hardworking, honest young farmer, a shepherd in Thomas Hardy's novel Far from the Madding Crowd. The novel series Gabriel Oak, the farmer, shepherd, and a very marked by his humble, honest ways. And he also falls in love with Bathsheba. His Bathsheba is far sweeter, and later he the belly on her farm. So here, and finally her husband at the very end of the novel. So it is the Gabriel Oak is a Far from the Madding Crowd is the answer. So these were all 35 questions that I have discussed along with explanations in this video. I hope that you have liked the video. Please make sure to subscribe the channel and tap the bell icon to get a more notification. And please make subscribe the channel, okay? And thank you once again for watching the video. And have a good night.